If you want to be the best version of yourself, if you never want to get sick again, if you don't want to experience chronic pain, basically all the ailments and soreness, stiffness, balding, all the problems that we come to describe as aging, it's possible. And our human potential is amazing. The problem is that humans are eating food that's not designed for the human body. The human body was designed, taken from nature, atoms taken from nature, and yet we're eating food that is highly processed, cooked, so all the water-soluble vitamins and minerals are evaporated. There's no living enzymes, and it's very sticky and binding. So it gets into our body, and it just creates mucus, and it sticks, and it clogs up our lymphatic system, which is our body's main energy pathway. And so I just wanted to, I was talking with a friend about my experience, because he was like, do you have any energy on this diet? How long have you been doing this? And I told him I've been doing this for 8 years. 5 of those years I was fully raw. 3 of those years I was liquidarian. And I just told him those 3 years was the best. Life was amazing. I experienced the true human potential. I realized that the space all around us, what we call air, is actually full of energy and information. And until you get on that level, it's just air. But this space actually connects. We live in this space. This is us. It's just that we have these skin bodies that separate us from everything that we are. And so when you clean up your energetic pathways, you become pure energy. You don't need to sleep as much, if at all. Just you have to run or do something because you have so much energy. But because you're pure energy, you are connected to the electricity that lives around us in the ether. The ether is full of electrons that are all electrically charged, right? And so when those come into contact with you, you feel the energy. And the energy in chemistry is defined as intelligence. And so it's full of information, it's full of data. And when you connect to that, you realize what it is to become God. And I don't mean that in an ego way at all, but just we all were created by the infinite, we're created by God, whatever that is. And so that is in us. So in at least some sense, we have God in us, we are gods. And so what I'm trying to say is when you become connected to the ether and the energy that lives all around us, you become open to everything. So you become omniscient, omnipresent. It's a very surreal experience. And because I've been there, I'm trying to get back there. But you understand that the human potential is so crazy. And if we're just constantly eating what humans deem food, you're never going to get there because you're constantly filling your body up with foods that are clogging, foods that are dead. They're draining your energy. And they're clogging your lymphatic system. They're causing a lot of mucus in your system, which is why people are sick and have allergies and bad eyes and they're balding and wrinkles and chronic pain. So anyways, just wanted to inspire some people, whoever's listening, because you don't have to live with your condition. Medication is not a way to live, right? You're just managing symptoms, which is crazy because you're never ever actually going for the roots of the problem, which is always, trust me when I say this, it's always, again, the problem that you're having, if you're experiencing any type of condition, disease, pain, anything, your problem is your kidneys and your lymphatic system. Trust me on that. So I wanted to share a little bit. I feel like I share too much, but maybe I don't, because people do come to me and, they're experiencing pain and I'm like, what the hell? If you guys understood the extreme pain that I experienced from, I can't say right after, so I was in a car accident at 17, but I can't say, I forget really, I had a brain injury. So I actually forget how bad my pain was right after the car accident. But I can tell you that when I got out of my neck brace 6 months later, the soreness from, I couldn't even turn my neck. So that was, at least 18, 19. So from let's say 19 years old to 33 years old, my pain got progressively worse. And it felt like the pain just got exponentially worse the more time went on, especially because my diet was so bad. I was eating the standard American diet, fast food, candy, sweets, grains, meats, burgers, all the things, right? But my pain was so bad. I don't think I've met anyone that, honestly, I've ran into people with herniated discs, with fused discs, with all these issues. And unless you're in a wheelchair and you have fibromyalgia, I don't think you experience the pain that I did, because I had to force myself to get out of bed because I had 3 young children. They were all under the age of 8. And it was horrible. I was depressed. I was crying. I always said, I know what it feels like to be 100 years old because every bone in my body ached. And at 33, I really seriously was like, I've had it. I do not want to live my whole life like this. So I have to make a change. I was considering spinal surgery. I thought that was my only option. But while I was considering it, I was living in Colorado at the time, and thankfully, being somewhere like Colorado, people are so into the outdoors, and it seemed like I was in Boulder County, right? So many people did yoga. Yoga was a huge thing. For me, coming from Central Florida, That's where I'd moved from. I hadn't heard about yoga, or maybe like I'd heard of it, but I never saw anyone doing it. I didn't see like whole groups of people doing it. So as I was contemplating the spinal surgery, like super hard, I because I was in a neck brace for so long, my back really atrophied, and I noticed that my posture was kind of slumped over, and so I just was like, let me try yoga, because every time I pull my shoulders back and I sit straight, I do feel relief in my spine. So I told myself, I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to just do it for 7 days and see what happens. That was the best decision I ever made, because that's what kickstarted my whole detox journey. I didn't know that this is where it was going to lead me, to where I'm certified in advanced regenerative detoxification. I'm a certified iridologist. I am a yoga teacher. This is my life now. I've been high raw vegan for the past 8 years, like I mentioned, super hardcore, super disciplined for the first 5 years. Kind of got away from that. That's another story, but I'm glad that it taught me. Like, falling back into cooked food really has taught me so much. What we call food is like the biggest drug out there, guys. It's so hard to break the habit of eating cooked food that's full of preservatives and neurotoxins and flavors, salts and sugars. The texture, like everything about it is like crack. Seriously, not that I've ever tried crack, but I can imagine. So what I was trying to say was, I've never met anyone that was in as much pain as I was, and started with the yoga, and there was an area of my back, like right dead center where my shoulder blades meet, that was just so tight. I was walking around like no movement, right? And so I was doing the yoga, and I was able to crack that area in my back, and I cried, because I was like, I can't believe I did this for myself. I didn't need a chiropractor. I didn't need anything else but me. And so that was super beautiful. I don't want to make this video too long, but that was the moment where I just became inspired, and I was like, I'm going to do this every day of my life, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm just going to take off. And I did. I literally did. I had a friend, shout out to Marie, I love you. She's a raw food nutritionist, and she came over to my house, and she saw that I was making all these changes, and she opened my eyes, because I had never heard anybody say the things that she said to me. But she said, when you cook your food, anything over 118 degrees, you destroy the food, you create binding chemistry, it causes inflammation and mucus in the body, and there's no vitamins and minerals that your body can use anymore, and there's no living enzymes. I swear my mouth like dropped open, and I was like, what? And I've been cooking, and I've been feeding my kids this way? That's immediately I thought about my kids. I didn't even think about myself. But immediately I changed for myself, because, just like they tell you, if you're in an airplane, put the mask on yourself first, you have to take care of yourself first. Everyone else, well, it'll come after, but you need to take care of yourself first. And that was a big lesson for me too. Self-love. I started loving myself, and I realized I never learned how to love anyone, because I didn't love myself. But when I learned to love myself, of course, and doing all the things, when my friend told me that, it was like a light switch. It was that day. It was November 17th, 2017. The next day I was raw, and I stayed raw for 5 years. So I don't know where I got that discipline, but I'm looking for it again. But yeah, that was like, it was an amazing time in my life, and I just started loving myself hard, and I started being more patient with my kids. I'm happy, and my marriage was falling apart, so I was definitely going through some hard times there. But yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to encourage you guys that, seriously, if you're dealing with something as minor as psoriasis, your eyes are glaucoma or anything, thyroid disease, what is it called? Menopause. That's not natural. Why does it happen when we're middle-aged? Why does it seem to be happening to women earlier? Well, does it have something to do with the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system that we inherited from our mother? And since everything is an accumulation factor, could it be that because we continue to eat the way our families eat, that by the time we're now 30s, 40s, we're starting to get hot flashes? Where does he come from? He comes from acid. So is there maybe an acid buildup in our lymphatic system, and it's responding by, what the doctors would call early onset menopause? And then you have to think, like, menopause has to do with hormones, which has to do with your adrenals, which your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys, and your kidneys are an eliminative organ. So if your eliminative organ is shut down, how the hell are you eliminating all that cellular metabolic waste that is highly acidic? So yes, guys, that's where the C word comes from, cancer. And that's like the big light bulb moment. So wake up, take your health into your own hands, love yourself first, experiment with yourself, have fun with it, but you do not have to live with the conditions that doctors will just manage the symptoms. Even in this field of naturopathy and holistic medicine, people are just going after symptoms. Oh, you have migraines? Take this herb. Oh, you have skin issues? Take this ointment. Like, no, you're just constantly treating symptoms, and you're never addressing the root cause, which is always a dirty sewer system in the body. 98% of the people out there are walking cesspools with parasites and mold and fungus. If you have moles, if you have just all this stuff, it's fungus, it's candida. So clean out your bodies, and I promise you, you will start tapping into what you were meant to feel here as a human. We are created to experience so much more than what we know. So if you need any help, I'm always here. Happy to help anybody. I have so many resources. But yeah, I'm Holistic Living with Adrienne. My name is Adrienne. I've been practicing for the last 8 years. I'm a Dr. Moore student, and I have personal experience. I have clients that I've helped with a lot of skin conditions, but I can help you too. So it's really all what's up here. Change your mindset, love yourself, and then we can work on the other stuff. But just wanted to come on and say that. Namaste.